this is how to be Meta's little bitch. Now, stop trying to outsmart it. It's not going to change for us, so we have to change for it. Now, these are the 5 laws to make sure that we can listen to Meta, do as it tells us, because this is what's going to reward us in the long run. Okay, so the first law is targeting is your primary text. Now, there is a few things to this, like Meta has changed to like an AI kind of company now, and basically all your targeting used to be in your ad group and you could do it manually. However, now Meta does it yourself. It's so advanced that it scans your image, your video, your primary text, your headlines, your landing pages, and then it will decide who to show it to. Okay, so the reason why the primary text here is the most important and the first 20 words are because this is what captures the person that you are targeting. If you are not talking directly to that person, they are less likely to stop at your ad, meaning Meta isn't going to get any signals to say, okay, that's the person to show it to. So the more direct and the less vague we are in our first 20 words of our primary text, the more likely Meta is going to find our ICP, the person that we want to target. Now, this is the first thing that it can scan. This is the first thing that it'll go through because it's literally words, and it does it in almost like 0.1 second, something probably even quicker than that. And it's going to use that to then start showing it to your other people, right? Now, this scanner is the targeting now. Okay, so it's not calling out your avatar in 20 words will be the reason why sometimes you're launching ads right now and they're getting 0 spend because it has no idea who to show it to. Okay, so the landing page also has to be very coherent with the primary text, and they have to co-align, because if you have something that's saying one thing in your image or your primary text, for example, and then your landing page is saying something else, then Meta, again, is going to be so confused and it doesn't know who to show it to. So this is the main thing that I want you to change first. Primary text is so understudied right now because nobody thinks to do it. So check that. Check your 20 words, the first 20 words of your primary text, and then implement. Okay, now going on to the second law. Now, everybody fucking panics when it comes to their second day of running ads. Now, if you are running $50 to $100, and I'm normally talking to the people that are running AI dropshipping, branded dropshipping, all the dropshippings, you should be starting with this budget if you are a beginner. You should be doing nothing less, nothing more, because this is the sweet spot and it allows you to learn whilst you're doing it on the job, I guess. So the first day, if you have a good product and you have launched decent ads, then you should see around 3 sales or 4 possibly. Okay, so after you've seen that, the day 2, you're probably going to get none or possibly 1 if you're lucky. Now, day 3, you might see 2. But at day 4, this is where consistency will start to kick in. Now, consistency can sometimes look like this, or it can look like this. It can look like this. Now, consistency could be 3, 2, or maybe 4. That is consistent at the money that you are spending. Now, why it's like this is because the way that I see it and the way that I can explain it to you is day 1, it's testing this inner ring, the people that are most likely to buy, okay, or what is inferred from this number, what the law number 1 and what it's took from that, and it showed it to the people that it believes that are going to buy. Now at day 2, it's actually going to test this outer ring of the people that are least likely to buy, and that's why you'll often see 0 or just 1. Then at day 3, they will then start to test this middle ring where you'll see possibly 2. And then after it's done this one and this one and this one, it's going to take all of that data that it's just gathered and then start to test it on the 4th day. And then again, it now has data to actually go off on who to show it to. This day number 2 and day number 3 are some of the most important days in this testing, because this is where your Meta ad account is learning for you, knowing who to show this to. Okay, so when we start to see, say, you know, on the first day we have the 3 sales, then we have 0 on the second day, we have 2 on the next, then on the 4th day we might have 4 sales, then again the second we might have 2, 3, whatever. So we should then be looking at this on a 7-day basis, where we then start to make our decisions. Now, say if over those 7-day basis we've had 16 sales, okay, you want to divide that by 7, and that's near enough to a day. Okay, so now what you can do is you have all this valuable data that you can go off. I mean, in the 5th law, I'm going to show you exactly how you can break that down, and it's super important that you listen to all of this because they all work together. Now, again, if you want a little bit more of like an explanation, just read this. You can pause, do whatever, but there we go. This is law number 2. Now, going on to law number 3, is this one is just whether you should be running CBO or ABO. Now, I don't have a certain preference. I do both. It depends what your ad account likes. They all have different personalities, which is very hard to explain, but some of them like ABO, some of them like CBO. I don't know, but that's just the way it works sometimes. So say if you have an ad that is working very well and you start to make iterations. So a CBO, it takes 2 similar ads, it sees it, and it will push one and dead the other. Now, the problem is with this is we haven't actually given this one that it's deaded a fair test. So this is where I'd say if you are testing iterations of a product or an ad that's performed well for you in the past, or you have got like slight winning aspects of an ad and you want to test a little bit more, then put it into an ABO, because this is where you can test the budget and it will both get even amounts of spend. Now, this is super important when it comes to iterating. ABOs are really good for testing at the moment because we can start to test different and similar ads post Andromeda, and we can actually start to see different iterations perform well. Now, I know people that scale and test in, say, the same ABO. They'll just have one ad group that has $50 ad spend, and then they'll up that if it's performing really well, and then they'll have like other ad groups that do like $20 with 3 ads in it. Now, this law is going to take me directly to law number 4, where we test the 3-2-2 method. We either have a marksman or a sniper. Now, I'm going to explain what this means. Is in one ad group, you're going to have 1 ad, 2 ads, 3 ads. Okay, and you're going to have 2 primary text, and again, linking to that number 1 law where we are making sure our targeting is in the primary text, because one ad group can mean it's an avatar, it could mean we're targeting a certain angle, it could mean that we're targeting a certain sub-avatar, or we're just testing different iterations. Now, when it comes to this test, we can have 2 different marksmans, or we can have a sniper. These are the 2 different layouts that we can have. Now, a marksman is more of full swings that can go into CBOs and work better in CBOs, where we have 3 different ads that look completely different, but again, all targeting the same angle. Now, when it comes to a sniper, this is where we test the iterations, the similar ads that we were just talking about up here, and we can test different like hooks on the images, different slight variations of the CTAs that we have on the images, different offers, all that kind of stuff. Now, when it comes to testing different offers and landing pages, when I test an offer, I will have 3 different statics that look different to one another. So I'm making sure that there's a good test and that I'm not missing anything out. Again, all based off our research, because if I'm running an offer test for it that I've taken from say a dog website and I've got a baby website, that isn't coherent. Okay, so I will take the best offer statics concepts that I can find off the internet, and then I'd make them, and then I would have the link in this ad go directly to that new offer page that I have got. Again, primary text, I'd just take 2 of the best that I've previously had with these. Again, still pointing out the offer that we've run and see how well it performs against the offer that we currently have. If that works, then we start sending people to that new offer when we launch our new ads. And then if we want to test a new landing page or a new product page, we then take the best 3 ads that we've already had, and then we will then, again, 2 of the best primary text with that as well, and then the link would be to the new landing page, and again, we're going to test the differences. Okay, so that is how we test. This is the best way to keep our organization inside our ad account. This is the one way that we are going to be able to stay organized. Strategy is 20% of this. Now, I know people that scale inside CBOs, just one big fat CBO with 1 ad group, and that is it. Okay, so when it comes to now keeping this organized, this is for us, so we're not getting mixed up. This is just what I recommend to make sure that we are staying on top of our game, keeping the data nice and organized, so when we come to read it, we can take action quick on it, and we're not sat there thinking, what the fuck do I do? Okay, so this is probably the most important thing here. So everything leads to this. So you've ran all your ads, you've tested it for the 7 days, and you've done everything I said. You're testing exactly in that 3-2-2 format. Again, if you want my strategy, it's literally, I normally test 3 avatars at first with that 3-2-2 method. So I'll have one ad group with one avatar in mind, another ad group with another avatar in mind, and then another ad group with another avatar in mind. All have different panes, different angles that you can dig into later. And then I will find the best one, and then I'll scale that in a CBO. Simple. There you go. A little bit more sauce for you that I wasn't planning on giving out. However, we need to make sure we are using the big breakdown button in our ads manager. This is the single-handedly biggest piece of information that you should take away from this. You can crunch every single number inside of this. So for example, right, and I've seen this so many times, you've run your 7-day tests, you're getting 2 sales a day, and you obviously want to be making, say, 4-5 sales a day in order to be profitable at this kind of budget. Now, what I find in these ads oftentimes is I've done my avatar research, I've copied my competitors. However, I have found when I've broken down it by demographic, age plus gender, and I have seen that the people that I'm targeting, it's worked because I've followed all the other 4 laws that it's spending on the people that I am targeting. However, I've only had 2 sales over £100 spent. Okay. Whereas if I go down to my metrics where I can see exactly what's been spent on these different demographics, where I've got 45 plus and we have spent $20 and we've made 4 sales, I am targeting the wrong avatar because these guys are clearly responding to something in my ads much better than the ones I am targeting. So what do? I restructure the landing page or the product page and start to look deeper into why this person and this avatar, this demographic wants my product more than the people I was originally targeting. And what this often does is Meta is giving you the sign, okay, this is your gap in the market. Go and target these people. This is what you're doing best right now. Go and find them. And you can see through the data that you've gathered, and you'll be able to see which texts are performing the best and which ones. This is why we do the 2, because I will break down text, and that's all you have to break down in the button. And you can see what people are responding to best there. I can stare at these metrics all day because I find it so fascinating. But this is single-handedly where you are going to make the biggest changes by this breakdown button. It's the best thing. It's located next to your columns. Have a look at everything that you can break down. I promise you, if you know how to read your metrics, you are going to perform the best. Now, they're the 5. If you follow these and you implement these straight away, this is going to be the biggest lever mover, I don't know, but that you can implement right now into your testing. And it's like a breath of fresh air when you kind of start to do this. But the one thing that I cannot teach you is the patience. Now, the patience does indeed come under our law 2 right here. And you just have to maintain this. So the one thing I want to mention here is if you are getting 0 sales on the first day, 0 sales on the second, and 0 sales on the third, cut the product. Your ads aren't good enough to test, or your product isn't good enough. There's a reason going on there. This is for the people that are making the sales. But again, even if you aren't, keep this in mind, because this is something that you can definitely come back to, and it can help change your life. Okay. Now, again, free testing strategy is in the link. I kind of explained it a little bit here. But the free testing strategy is in the link. Go and get it. If you need any help, you have any questions, I'm very, very responsive on Instagram. Go drop me a follow. I drop a lot of sauce on Instagram as well through my reels. And if you need me, message me. Again, I have found multiple winning products, 20 products, sold 2 brands. And yeah, go and see how this works. Go and implement this. And I hope this has been useful. And I will catch you in the next video.